So, yeah, free open mic. Okay, somebody's pointing here. Celeste, where are you, Celeste? Ah, okay, welcome. Hello.
Thank you. So I didn't plan anything today, but I guess the first story that came to my mind, one of the many stories that my grandma, she used to tell the same story kind of over and over. And so, it's really nice actually, because now I remember all of them really well. And so one of them was that when they lived in Boston, my mom and all the kids, they were playing, and at that time it was just really racist back then. And there were even like school segregation things happening in Roxbury, and they lived in West Roxbury. So it was all happening right in front of them. And my mom, they were playing with like, I think an African American child, or, and then like a really racist Irish man that said, um, we're not gonna let our kids play with your kids if you allow this. And my grandma said, she yelled and she said, I don't care if they're purple or blue or green or any color. And she said, if they're good people, that's really all that matters. And after that, she said, I packed up the kids and we came out to, of all places, Berkeley, California, where, yeah, yeah, I don't think it was an accident that they ended up here. I think it aligned with her views. And anyway, so that's the story that I really remember her telling me. I thought it
That's a wonderful example of the egalitarianness of Hughes, and the way that she saw the world. That's a great story. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else like to talk? Speak up. Ah, lovely.
Hello, hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. I also did not prepare a speech, but I just wanted to say my favorite memories of my grandmother. Um, I wasn't the best grandson, but I did make her a great what is it, a great grandma, great grandma. So that was my claim to fame. Um, and she was just a beautiful soul. She had amazing energy since I was a kid. My favorite memories of her were always whenever she'd walk into the room, she would say, "Woo!" and the party would start. And whether it was my grandpa was there or not, she was always pretty much the same, and just very observant, always watching and seeing what she could do to help and who needed something. And in later years, she kind of bossed me. I mean, that this needs to be done, that needs to be done. She was just very aware and conscious of what was going on around her and who needed help, who didn't need help. And I had some tough times with people, and don't worry, Charlie, I got this. She had her pepper spray, and that's the one thing I want from my grandma is we hang her pepper spray up. It was a very famous pepper spray. I don't know how many people they say. There was some panhandlers, and if you needed help, she would help you with everything she had. And if you weren't causing trouble, she would make sure you were out of here. She'd give you a dose, exactly. I'd give him a dose, she said. And she was really good at it, and she had a special energy to her where she can kind of defuse any situation. People would just look at her and just say, oh, okay, I get it. I'm not going to bother with that. And she just cared so much. I remember my first couple of years in here, she wasn't in her best state of health, but she was always here every day, and she was doing her best to help and whatever needed to be done. And I was kind of doing the same thing, and we were working side by side, and it was amazing to have a lot of time with time. It was I probably spent the most time with her than I did with most of my grandparents, and we weren't the closest, but she wasn't really the deepest. We were wasn't that emotional. She kind of kept her feelings to herself, and I never got that deep with her. But there was a lot of stuff going on up there, and she was very thoughtful, and she cared, even though she never told you. Or she was just. Now I'm just rambling, but I don't know. It's sad she was my last grandparent to go, but she taught me so many things and what to do, what not to do. You want to say something, Nevin? No? So yeah, Nevin turned her into a great grandma. So he was famous for that. What do you want to say, Neela? Thank you all for coming. She would love and appreciate all of you. What do you want to say? All right, we got more singers.
My name is Bernie Turtley, and I had the privilege of hosting the open mic for a couple of months when Annalisa was out of town. And Rose really loved the song that I would sing occasionally, which I'm not going to sing now because I can't remember the words. But this one is like a Tin Pan Irish, I think. It's not really a folk song, but I learned it from John McCormick records. When I was about 12, I really wanted to be a tenor, and I was heartbroken that I wasn't, but I'm a damn good baritone, so. Have you ever heard the story of how Ireland got its name? I'll tell you now, so you will know from whence old Ireland came. No wonder that we're proud of that dear land across the sea. For here's the way me dear old mother told the tale to me. Sure, a little bit of heaven fell from out the skies one day, and nestled in the ocean in a spot so far away. And when the angels found it, sure it looked so sweet and fair. They said, suppose we leave it, for it looks so peaceful there. Then they sprinkled it with stardust just to make the shamrocks grow. 'Tis the only place you'll find them, no matter where you go. Then they dotted it with moonbeams to make its lake so grand. And when they had it finished, sure they called it Ireland. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, we have a request for everybody who's kind of standing near the door to just kind of move further back if you can. Yeah, there's more space. There's more space in the back there. There's a couple of chairs here. We got a couple of space back here. There's some chairs under the stairs over there. Richard, come on up here, my friend. Here we go. Here's part of the old Kenya right here. Yeah, look.
Watch out. Can you scoot up a little bit for me? Hey, you guys, I'm going to ask everyone sitting in the chair just to scoot up a little bit. We'll create some more room back there. We're going to dance in a little bit. Don't you worry. I'm going to just squeeze this one out of the way. Thank you so much, you guys.
Claro.
Hello. I first
first met Mike Hughes the day after he arrived in San Francisco in a bar.
Louder,
And
louder.
I first met Mike Hughes the day after he arrived in San Francisco, which I think it was 72 or 73, not sure. And I got to know the family pretty well through the years, and I have to say, they were people who would help anybody who ever had a problem. If you knew them, they would come and help you. They were the people who really lived that from each according to his abilities, to each according to his needs. Yes. And so many times through the years, Mike would come and help on a construction project that I was working on, and of course, he would do it for free. Francis would come to the house with meals when we had children to help us out. And so I thought so highly of the Hughes family. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Joan Pez, and I had been running the Tuesday night open mic for about 20 years. And it didn't take me long to realize, prior to what I thought, this isn't just a bar, it's a social service organization. And I consider Francis the lead social worker. So for many nights on Tuesday over the years, Francis sat in the stool next to me while we were waiting to start the open mic. And she knew everything that was going on with the patrons. She knew who was ill, who was in the hospital, who she hasn't seen, and she looked out. And that spirit of generosity and community service, I know, has passed on from generation to generation. And that spirit of generosity is all around us. Francis will be missed, but that spirit stays with us.
Kate, or Clark, would you like to get up here and sing that song? Yes, it's so lovely. Just wing it. We're all winging it here today. Yes, it was lovely. Kate wrote a song for a friend and she posted it online. She said, "I hope you don't mind." And I said, "Oh yeah, I would play it now, but you're here so you can sing it for us."
Oh, you're welcome. You can even get up on stage like you usually do.
I was not prepared for this at all.
Nobody was.
That's the Irish way.
This is normally a big rock song for my band that has played here over the years. So I don't know how this is going to work a cappella, but I'll try it. This song was inspired by a friend of mine actually in Ireland who, anyway, it's called, I thought of it when Rose posted the beautiful tribute to her mom, and the last line was about saving Francis's seat. This song is called Save Me a Seat. I've never sung it this way, I'm very nervous. Man, it's just too quiet here, now that you're gone. An empty room stares back at me, bed smooth and curtains drawn. Part of me keeps thinking that you'll walk right through the door. But while I miss your laughter, the truth is that I'm sure somewhere in a warm, dark pub, you're listening to the beat. Maybe your mind's drifting back to memories so sweet. Don't think you're forgotten and our friendship is complete. Look up one night, I'll be there. Just save me a seat. Well, I know places can't be moved or countries rearranged. And I know better than to wish that nothing ever changed. So run the race, go live your life, Godspeed along the track. Just take a moment now and then to let your heart look back. Somewhere in a warm, dark pub, you're listening to the beat. Maybe your mind's drifting back to memories so sweet. But don't think you're forgotten and our friendship is complete. Look up one night, I'll be there. Just save me a seat. I promise one night I'll be there. Just save me a seat. Thank you, Francis. We are saving Mom's seat back there in the corner. Anyone else? Anyone else want to say something? Gary.
I love you, Mom.
I'm Gary. I've been around here a while. Been coming here about 40 some years. Played a lot of music. Hung around before they even had a stage or any place else. But I just wanted to say that if you've ever been lucky enough to sit in that chair next to Frances and have the conversations with her that I've seen through the generations. I've seen him drunk, stone sober. Didn't seem to matter. You could sit there and just listen to her, and she'd calm you down. She'd get to the bottom of things, and she'd give you the best that she could. And it was a true feeling of everything there. If you were lucky enough to talk to her, God bless you.
Hello? Oh, hey. Okay. Hang on a second. There. Now nobody's going to sit on it. So hi. I haven't been back for a few years, but if you were here at all on Mondays from 2012 to 2019, you know me, and I recognize several of you out there. The Monday Night Kaylee, that's a staple of this place. If you've never been, and if you think it's because you can't dance, come anyway, please. If you've never been and you think it's because you have no idea what's going on in the world of Irish social dance, please come anyway. It's a fantastic time. It's been going for longer than I've been alive. And it's pretty much the first social thing I came to when I moved to this state. And this was my social circle for like 7 years. So it was kind of important to be here. I don't know that Frances and I exchanged 20 words over the 7 years I was here. Frances is awfully busy. I'm generally up here. And I just tend to be kind of shy about striking up side conversations. So we just never had much to say. But Frances's face said it all. Really? You know, if you hung around at all, you could read her expression. And we could tell how well the band was doing on any given night by Frances's expression. There were some nights when you could read, wow, you guys are having a rough night. Even more than that, though. So, tiny personal story. I got engaged here. My husband is actually in the back, and he proposed like right here on the floor. 10 minutes after that, I broke an ankle. So we figured if that's how the relationship started, we had nowhere to go but up, and we've been married 7 years, so it's great. But that night, I caught Frances's eye across the room during the proposal and had this grandmotherly look of, yeah, keep this one. And then after I ended up on the floor, I have hyperflexible ankles, the polka is a bad idea. So I spent half the night sitting with a bag of ice on my ankle, just talking to people and accepting congratulations. And I met her eyes from across the room again. And the look on her face was half, well, yeah, that screwed this up. And half, well, he seems to still like you. Definitely keep this one. I've moved an entire country away from both of my grandmas, and I may not have had a very close relationship with Frances, but she's kind of the substitute grandma for my entire generation. So thank you, Frances. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
This is my mother's cousin, Mary Green.
I'm also your cousin, Rose. We're second cousins. Actually, I came here, I'm from Enniston, County Clare, and I came here 32 years ago, actually, and I did not know I had a cousin in Berkeley. How different would my life have been if I did know? But anyway, my mom died in 2012, and Josie, her sister, really was so good to me. You know, like she would constantly, every time I go home, she would make sure to meet me. And she said, please check out Frances in Berkeley. And so I came in here a few times and I said, I'm looking for Frances Barrett. And they all said, who? We don't know Frances Barrett. And so I went back to Josie and I said, I went in and I asked and they said she's not here. And she said, she's definitely there. And so I came again and the same thing. And she said, who are you asking for? I said, Frances Barrett. And she said, no, she's Frances Hughes. But anyway, I got to meet Frances, I think, a year before the pandemic. And it was just wonderful. Actually, Rose was the first person I met when I came in. She said, you have another cousin looking for you. And I just thought, you know, in Ireland, we kind of be feeling the same, we mightn't say it. And I just loved it from the minute I met you. But anyway, anyway, Frances and I did a few trips, and I just found her to be so feisty and just so full of stories and so Irish, you know. And she also told me about that proclamation, and I can tell you that is in the library in Ennis, and there was a big to do, you know, they had a little to do about it, you know, and all the cousins came, you know, like Frances' parents are one of 16. Her dad was one of 16. And so the family is huge and we're all over the place. So anyway, I just want to tell you, it was just a joy meeting Frances and being with her the few times I was with her. We always had a little adventure. You know, I thought we were coming to the pub. She said, I think we were going to watch El Cerrito. Hey, off we go to El Cerrito. You know, she always had a little adventure when we met. So it was really fun. Thank you.
Here comes Owen Murphy. Come on, Owen. Come on, keep the show going.
Okay.
Holding the mic and the beer and everything at the same time.
Well, usually I've got it tied up to the board. Now I don't work.
Yes.
Okay, everybody. Just heard the word proclamation here. And as I came in here, after an absence of a long time, I came in here, the first time I ever came in here, I think it was 1975.
If you're not talking on the microphone, please be quiet for a few minutes. Thank you so much.
Came in here in 1975, and the first person I met was Bob Heaney at the bar, who put a pint of Guinness in me and forgave me for coming from London, England. Unforgiving. The Irish are unforgiving about accents. But anyway, I'm going to do my very best because what I'm going to read right now may be one of the most important statements ever given to a powerful country that held dominion over many other countries. This is Product Diane, and it is the proclamation of the provisional government of the Irish Republic that was read out Easter Sunday morning when the first moment of rebellion against injustice in Ireland in the century that has passed. The provisional government of the Irish Republic to the people of Ireland. Irish men and Irish women, in the name of God and of the dead generations from which she receives her old tradition of nationhood, Ireland to us summons her children to her flag and strikes for her freedom. Having organized and trained her manhood through the secret revolutionary organization, the Irish Republican Brotherhood, and through her open military organizations, the Irish Volunteers and the Irish Citizens Army, having patiently perfected her discipline, having resolutely waited for the right moment to reveal itself, she now seizes that moment, and supported by her exiled children in America and by gallant allies in Europe, but relying in the first on her own strength, she strikes in full confidence of victory. We declare the right of the people of Ireland to the ownership of Ireland and to the unfettered control of Irish destinies, to be sovereign and indefeasible. The long usurpation of that right by a foreign power, people, and government has not extinguished the right, nor can it ever be extinguished except by the destruction of the Irish people. In every generation, the Irish people have asserted their right to national freedom and sovereignty. 6 times during the past 300 years, they have asserted it in arms, standing on that fundamental right, and again, asserting it in arms in the face of the world. We hereby proclaim the Irish Republic as a sovereign, independent state, and we pledge our lives and the lives of our comrades in arms to the cause of its freedom, of its welfare, and of its exaltation among the nations. The Irish Republic is entitled to and hereby claims the allegiance of every Irish man and Irish woman. The Republic guarantees religious and civil liberty, equal rights, and equal opportunities to all its citizens, and declares its resolve to pursue the happiness and prosperity of the whole nation and of all its parts, cherishing all the children of the nation equally and oblivious of the differences carefully fostered by an alien government which have divided a minority from the majority in the past. Until our arms have brought the opportune moment for the establishment of a permanent national government, representative of the whole people of Ireland and elected by the suffrages of all her men and women, the provisional government hereby constituted will administer the civil and military affairs of the Republic in trust for the people. We place the cause of the Irish Republic under the protection of the Most High God, whose blessing we invoke upon our arms, and we pray that no one who serves that cause will dishonor it by cowardice, inhumanity, or raping. In this supreme hour, the Irish nation must, by its valor and discipline, and by the readiness of its children to sacrifice themselves for the common good, prove itself worthy of the august destiny to which it is called. Signed on behalf